and then there's the Roman version, which was Mithras, and then there's the Buddha.
Buddha
I
is
mean,
like the Christ, right? And Krishna,
yeah, they're all the same depiction of Christ within,
even
but told,
Horus of Egypt, I believe.
yeah, from a different historical and cultural background. It would be like the black people of America coming up with a black Santa Claus, which is
Exactly.
totally appropriate.
Mhm.
Why should they worship
Culture.
a white
I
Santa
heard
Claus?
the
So,
Ethiopians have their own version of Christ, the
right,
Ethiopian Christians. So it makes
exactly.
sense that they would each culture.
And so these different cultures come up with this different mythological story, which is
Mhm.
myth. And people think that myth means something that's made up. No, myth is a story
Mhm.
to demonstrate higher levels of teaching.
Mhm.
Because the
Mhm.
disciples come to Jesus and say, "Why do you talk in parables?" And he said, "Well, it's because it's for you to know the secrets of the kingdom,
Right.
not them. So those who are awake are ready to receive."
Yeah, going back to the Gnostics, from what I've researched, the Gnostics were using a lot of teachings of the Bible, and they said most of the teachings in the Bible are allegory, and that Hebrew and Christian Greek scriptures were allegory, and mainstream churches have taken everything literally when it's all symbolic. It's symbolic, and people have taken things word for word. Oh, this is exactly what it means. This is going to be a fiery place of Armageddon, and this is going to be, destruction from an ancient god that's going to hurt you. But really, like you mentioned, like it's allegory to teach us a lesson, right?
Well, it's
Most of
totally astrological too. There's a lot
exactly
of
the 12
astro.
apostles. The 12 apostles were like the astrological signs.
Yeah, the 12 houses of the zodiac,
Yeah.
and it says, what was is Jesus says, "Look for the man with the pitcher of water." Well, that's the symbol of Aquarius, the time and age of Aquarius. I mean, it's like what I say is we all know the story of Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a big fall, and all the king's horses, all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Well, that is a metaphor, a myth of the Roman Empire that fell apart, that they've tried to put back together for
I know.
centuries.
You can't
If you,
literally take it literally because a real Humpty Dumpty egg, right, man? Eggman.
yeah. So now, if you want religion, you can say, well, that was an actual, real Humpty Dumpty, and by his yoke ye are saved. Like
You
if you really
sacrificed
want,
yourself, and if you don't have faith in them and the shed yoke of this Eggman, you shall be cursed because you have not shown the proper appreciation for what he did for you. He died for you. He fell off that wall for you, Richard.
exactly, and that's how literalism really destroys spirituality. And then plus they're told not to think, or the devil's going to get them.
Exactly. So, Richard, in addition to those topics that we just discussed, on your YouTube channel, Star Gods, as well as stargods.org, you talk about some other far out and amazing topics. Can you whet people's appetite as to what you discuss?
Well, the just about everything.
Yeah.
um, Well, it's kind of the site is just a diary of
Hmm.
my awakening. And so through my awakening, I've gone through different periods of knowledge and context. So
Hmm.
yeah, everything's in there from A to Z that I can
Yeah.
think of.
You mentioned the Nephilim, but I really is a prominent subject in not only in your website but also on your vlog is the topic of the archons
Mm.
and of the reptilian phenomenon, as well as the Greys. Are they connected? And what is your feedback? What is your take on these
Well,
beings?
they're totally connected, but I want to back up and say that
Hmm.
I started dealing with the reptilians on my site.
Hmm.
And I used to have a Yahoo group, a chat group kind of thing,
Hmm.
and so it got to a point where I started getting emails from people about the reptilians, and The very first one was a lady who saw a shapeshifter at the airport, the baggage handler.